I remember the first time I watched Finding Nemo as a kid and how much I loved the movie. I remember laughing with the sea turtles and the adventures they had with Marvin. I remember watching Dory get stung by the jellyfish and wondering, was she going to be okay? As a kid, I thought Dory was a funny character in a movie. I never realized that a lot of the comedy she added was due to her disability. After Finding Nemo, many wondered what was next for Dory and what her story was going to be. In 2016, Disney decided to tell this story and created the animated film Finding Dory. Dory is an animated Pacific blue tangfish that lives with antegrade amnesia, or more frequently known as short-term memory loss. A contributor to Life Science, Kim Zimmerman, defines short-term memory loss as when someone can remember incidents from 20 years ago, but has a hard time remembering things that happened 20 minutes prior. Short-term memory loss can be a result of a medical condition, an injury, or other outside factors. Brain aneurysms, brain tumors, concussions, strokes, all can be the result of short-term memory loss, according to Zimmerman. Normally, Disney's known for their feel-good family movies, and Finding Dory is no different, besides the fact that the main character is disabled. In an article in Disability Horizons, the author Rhea Aguilar discusses Disney's history when portraying characters that have a disability. In Snow White, we see all of the 7 dwarves either have some sort of mental or physical disability, and they are portrayed as children. In Peter Pan, we see Captain Hook, an amputee, portrayed as a villain due to his disability. In Finding Nemo, we see Dory's character struggle, having Marvin accept who she truly is. In Finding Dory, Disney is tasked with showing who Dory's character really is and how she lives her everyday life with a disability. Susan Robinson was born with a genetic impairment which left her legally blind. In her TED Talk, she talks about how she fails at being disabled. She actually hates the word disabled when it's used to describe her or others, as it creates a mindset of brokenness and lack. Susan's tip on how she lives her everyday life is to flip expectations upside down, pursue audacious goals, and push limitations off an edge. This quote embodies who Dory is. Disney wants to show that Dory, even though she lives with a disability, she can do just the same things as everyone else can. Dory's character had her own story, and director Andrew Stanton knew this. In the 2016 film, Stanton knew that he had to tell who Dory's character was, as she connected with so many people from the first film. Disney wanted people to see that Dory's disability didn't hold her back, and that she could be an inspiration to many people. Ellen DeGeneres, the voice of Dory, says that Dory is a role model for a lot of people. Her catchphrase, "just keep swimming," a lot of people can relate to, as whether you're going through a tough time or you live with a disability. Just keep swimming is a great motto to live by. Ellen continues that Dory's disability actually turns out to be her strength, that she doesn't overanalyze, she's not cynical, and she doesn't worry what other people think of her. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. For many of us sitting at home, Finding Dory is a great movie to watch. Personally, for me, I don't know anyone who is disabled, and I thought that Disney did a really good job covering this sensitive topic. Ellen Pashodu, on the other hand, had a different interpretation than I did, and thought that Disney did a really poor job in displaying what it's truly like to live with a disability. Elizabeth is a proud parent of 3 boys, and her middle son, Edmund, lives with cognitive and physical disabilities, and permanently lives in a wheelchair. She was less than impressed on Disney's Finding Dory. She states that the movie was more of a message to adults, and that if you have a child that is physically disabled, to be scared to let them go off by themselves, and to adults, to let other people in who are disabled, as it's too much for the community to handle. Elizabeth feels as if the movie did not do justice for those who are disabled, and that actually it portrays them as that they don't fit in. Elizabeth has a personal connection, as she knows what it's like to be a parent with a disabled child. Stella Young, on the other hand, gives a different perspective. Stella is a comedian and disability activist that lives her everyday life in a wheelchair. Stella states that she is tired of having people look at her as exceptional because she lives with a disability. In her TED Talk, "I'm Not Your Inspiration, Thank You Very Much," she brings up the concept called inspiration porn. Now, this porn, as Stella defines it, is when we objectify one group of people for the benefit of another. Now, like this, we are objectifying disabled people for the benefit of non-disabled people so that we can think, wow, however bad my life is, it could be worse. I could be them. Those quotes struck me really hard. Am I the problem? Am I naive to believe that a movie like Finding Dory is a good representation of what it's like to live with a disability? Disney's trying to cover a really sensitive topic. Are they doing it for, like Stella Young said, the benefit of non-disabled people so we can think, wow, maybe my life isn't so bad. I could be them. So what comes next? Should movies like this not be made? Should companies like Disney, who are normally known for family movies, not be involved in such controversial topics? Should people like Stella and Elizabeth be involved in projects like this? Personally, I don't think my input should matter, as I'm not the one who's affected by this. I think that the people who should have a say are the ones who are directly impacted as society views them differently. Movies, especially animation films like Finding Dory, have the ability to impact people all across the world in different age demographics. And the conversation of movies like this will still be made, will be up for debate for generations. If we look back at Dory's motto, just keep swimming, it can be looked at as encouragement for a lot of people. A lot of us can relate to it, whether we're going through a tragedy or we're living through the situation that we're in right now. It's important to realize that we can look at this message and think, wow, my life might not be that bad. But we have to also realize the impact it had on the disabled community and how it changed how society views them. Thank you.